Thank you so much to One America for having me. I think the work that is done here is enormously important to be able to elevate the voices of all residents of our region. So I feel very grateful to be here. That's part of it. And to be asked to write a piece that kind of speaks to why I do feel so passionate about it, both as a resident of Seattle and also as the daughter of an immigrant, my mother, who is Chinese, for sure. I grew up in, yeah, I don't know where my Chinese people have it, hey. My mother, when I was born, owned a Chinese restaurant in the suburb of Petaluma, California, where I grew up, and I grew up within her restaurant, and so the notion of coming together for food and learning service as kind of being a form of community activism was huge in my life. And you know, I basically out of coming out of California, I came up to Seattle, and I really found my artistic voice in spoken word poetry. And spoken word poetry kind of evolved naturally into hip hop. And I can tell you, my mom was not stoked when I told her that I decided to become a rapper. She had nightmares of gold fronts, bad tattoos, and thugged out fantasies. And moreover, my mom knew for all of my theory and poetry that I had never really struggled like she did. She, born into poverty in the back alleys of Kowloon, saved up enough from sweatshop labor to hop a plane to the promised land at 19. My mom worked back-to-back fast food shifts for years, and then at my age became the overnight manager at Denny's, the one that we drive by on our way back from San Francisco. My mom now cruises the Golden Gate in a Ford Expedition. The way she always knew she deserved. And I, with all of my anti-racist, anti-oppression, progressive-ass politics, sharpened like spears from the privilege of private school education and the fierce elitism therein, I can say conservatively she was not feeling my rhetoric. But hey, that's America, where an impoverished Hong Kong girl can find her way, build a life from scraps and phrases, establish herself in the suburbs, vote Republican, drive an SUV, and then give birth to a #1 daughter who becomes an artist activist who holds hip-hop as the most high, right? And that's America, where seeming opposites beget each other, propel each other, a symphony of voice that at its sweetest holds profound harmony, sometimes cacophony, but that's democracy, that swell of sound. My mom has come around, seen the vibrancy of unfettered voice, how poetry can mobilize and create change, and even with all of my institutional skepticism, my mom reminds me to celebrate the richness of what's here. On this land I am inextricably a part of. Within this fabric I was born, woven through. The spectrum of possibility, a belief in dignity that is inherent to the core. Even if this country was built split level unjust, there is solid ground here. And there's work to do. We got work to do. Right? We wake each morning to a landscape still unjust, where so many linger at the margins, unheard and unrepresented, in a land that is sometimes numb to the visceral tension experienced by so many new Americans. Every immigrant is an artist. Every immigrant creates a reality from scratch, patchworks a livelihood, watercolors a future, welds and stands and chisels a place for themselves in this limestone country, its sediment fresh and ready. It is us gathering to speak our truths and live our lives vibrantly, honor the narratives that led us to this point, reach for those in the blind spots of bureaucracy and politicking, reach within ourselves to see how best we can serve those who have given us so much. We may seem disparate, but we are like thousands of copper strands to form a cord, a coil that conducts, overwhelming conduit of power, woven, unbreakable helix like our shared genetics, 1,000 shades of language, music, talk, rhythm, talk about our mobility, our need to traverse as travelers who dared to transgress, to transcend and be transformed. We fight for options to get places, to be places, to work with respect, to dream, to learn, to author our collective history, refusing to let documentation determine humanity and opportunity. Understanding the strength that comes in our divergence, diverse but not divided, diasporic but not dispersed. We are all so different but also somehow brilliantly one. This movement, this momentum is undeniable, pushed magnetically, drawing strength from every pole to progress onwards, to form a country where my mom can live her dream and I can speak my own, two distinctly different sets of eyes with a shared vision. We all embody that spectrum to create one, beyond any standard metric, defying any prescribed border. We transcend, we unite, we, the people. And we have exactly what it takes to shape a world that we can all call our own. Thank you.